this video, we will learn how to solve the normal distribution problem using Excel. So let's take a look for the first question, in which we will suppose we have a class of first year student that composed of multiple batches. We have given the sessional marks of the students in an engineering drawing for the batch D having a mean as 5.31 and the standard deviation is 3.48. However, the mean and standard deviation of the entire class is 6.42 and 1.12. Now, according to the statement, we can categorize it into two parts. One is for the batch D and another is for the entire class. For batch D, mean is 5.31 and for the entire class it is 6.42. And the standard deviation for the batch D is 3.48 and for the entire class is 1.12. After this, the statement says that the course instructor decided to normalize the marks of students for all the batches with the same mean and the standard deviation. Now, calculate the new marks of the student in a batch D whose original marks is 7.7. First, we need to normalize this marks. So, for that, we will use the Z formula. So, Z score is calculated as Z is equal to X minus mean by standard deviation. Since it is given to you that the same mean and the standard deviation for all the batches after normalize. It means whatever the value of Z we are getting from this batch D, the same Z will get from the entire class. Further, we need to calculate the value of X for the entire class whenever the value of X for the batch D is 7.7. So very first step, you will calculate the value of Z with the help of this information. After that, we will use this value of Z to calculate the value of X in this case. Means, first evaluate the value of Z, that is equal to 7.7 minus mean 5.31 divided by standard deviation. So whatever the value in this case we are getting, suppose it is a Z star. So use the same value Z star over here. So Z star is equal to X minus mean, that is equal to 6.42 divided by standard deviation. So from here you can find the value of X. So that will be Z star into 1.12 plus 6.42. Now let's calculate this procedure in the Excel. In Excel, we have plug in the information in a different columns. For the batch D, we have considered the mean in this cell and standard deviation in this cell. And this is the mean for the entire class and this is the standard deviation for the entire class. Now we are going to use these two formulas to find the answer. First, we will apply the first formula to get the value of Z with the help of these information. So in this case, we need to find the value corresponding to X is equal to 7.7. And we need to answer this case. For calculating the value of Z, it is important to know that these two terms are in bracket and then we will use the divide by standard deviation. So let's try to find the value of Z with the help of this information. So take a empty cell, write the formula is equal to, then open bracket. It's a very important to mention the bracket over here. Then click on X, that is given in a D4 cell, minus mean in D2 cell. Close this bracket, divided by standard deviation. Select the entry given in a D3 cell. Then press enter to get the value of Z. So with the help of this one, we will calculate the value of X. So again take an empty cell. Now write the formula for calculating the value of X is equal to, we need the value of Z, that is given in a Z5 now, into standard deviation, that is given in a F3 cell, then plus mean given in a F2 cell. Then press enter. So it means The marks of the student in a batch D are changed from 7.7 to approximately 7.1892 after normalization. And that is the answer for this question. Now let's tackle the next question. Next question is, what is the probability that the normal random variable x with the mean of 6.42 and the standard deviation as 1.12 is less than 7.4? So it means we need to find the probability of the random variable less than 7.4. Even you can take the equality in this form, because we know that the normal random variable is a continuous random variable, and at a particular point the probability is 0. So this probability is equal to the x less than 7.4. Now this question can be rephrased. Find the probability of the normal random variable x with at most 7.4 value. So this less than equal to can be written as at most 7.4. So maximum value is a 7.4. In order to answer this one, so if you know the normal curve, so normal curve means this one. If this number is a 7.4, so we need to find the probability that is less than equal to this number. So it means we need to find the area under this curve. So this indicates that we need to find the CDF in normal distribution for this point. In order to calculate the cumulative distribution function at a particular point, we can use the inbuilt command. That command is Norm.dist for the distribution, and it requires 4 parameters. The first parameter is related to the possible value of x. Suppose in this case we are taking 7.4. Second value corresponds to the mean. Third values corresponds to the standard deviation, and the last value is either true or false. So true means we need to evaluate the cumulative distribution function. False means we need to find the probability mass function. So right now in this case we need the cumulative distribution function, so we will mention the fourth parameter as the true. Whereas if the question is find the probability at x is equal to 7.4, where x is a normal random variable and the mean is 6.42 and the standard deviation is 1.12. So in that case, rest of the values will be same, but we will write in the fourth entry as the false. So let's calculate this value in a Excel. As per the question, the mean is equal to 6.42 and the standard deviation is equal to 1.12. So we need to find the probability when x is less than 7.4. So I have stored this value in a separate cell, so I can directly use this cell to find the normal distribution corresponding to this number. So in an empty cell, you can write the formula is equal to Norm dot dist, and then open this bracket. After that, write the value of x. So one way is you can directly write 7.4 over here. Otherwise, you can use the information given in the cell D5 followed by comma. It is not the colon, it is a comma. Then mean. Mean is given in a E2 cell, comma. Standard deviation, it is given in the cell. Select this one, comma. Since we need to find the probability less than 7.4, means we are working with the cumulative distribution function. So write true. Then close this bracket. Then press enter to get the answer. So in this case, the probability of the random variable less than equal to 7.4 is equal to 0.809213, with the mean of this and the standard deviation as 1.12. So next case is find the probability that the normal random variable x is greater than 6.8 with the same mean. So when we say that a greater than 6.8, in that case instead of at most, the question may be at least 6.8. So if the question is related to the at least or the greater than, the meaning is same. So in this case, we need to find the probability as x greater than 6.8. So it means if this is the normal curve and this point is 6.8, in this case, we need to find the area under this curve and greater than 6.8. So means we need to find the area of the shaded region. So this can be calculated as total area minus this area, and the total area is 1. So in this case we can say that 1 minus probability of x is less than equal to 6.8. So this value is equal to the total area under the curve, that is a 1, or we can say that the total probability, that is a 1, minus probability when the random variable is less than equal to 6.8. Whenever we are dealing with the less than equal to form, it means we are going to work with the cumulative distribution function. So let's calculate this value in a Excel. For that, first store the value of random variable 6.8 in an empty cell. Then we are going to find the probability of the random variable greater than 6.8. So to calculate this one, find an empty cell and write the formula is equal to 1 minus, now we need to find the probability less than equal to 6.8. So use the same command of the normal distribution, that is the norm dot dist open bracket. Now find the value of x that is given in this cell, that is the D6, followed by the mean, followed by the standard deviation. You need to find the cumulative or a probability mass function. Right now we need the probability less than equal to 6.8. It means we are working with the cumulative distribution function, and therefore we are going to write true. And then close this bracket, press enter to get the answer for this one. So in this case, the answer is 0.367197. Moving towards the C part, it says that find the probability of the normal random variable when it lies between 5.6 to 6.5. It means we need to find the value of this expression. In order to calculate this one, let's understand what exactly the question is asking. Suppose this point is 5.6 and this point is 6.5. So it means we need to find the area of this shaded region. So to calculate this area, this can be calculated as find first the probability when x is less than equal to 6.5, and after that find the probability when x is less than equal to 5.6, and then subtract these two values. It means find the probability of the random variable less than equal to 6.5 minus probability of x less than equal to 5.6. So according to this, we need to calculate the cumulative distribution function at two different points. One is a 6.5 and another is at 5.6. So first we will find the cumulative distribution function corresponding to these two values. After that, we will use the subtraction form. Let's move to the Excel. First, we will find the probability of x less than 6.5, and we will store this value in an empty cell, and then we are going to find the probability of x less than 5.6 and store this value in the empty cell. Now use the same command to calculate this value, that is equal to norm dot dist open bracket value of x comma mean comma standard deviation comma cumulative. Yes, for that we will write true, and then close this bracket, press enter. In this case we are getting the probability approximately is equal to 0.52. Now calculate the probability in this case. So use the same command is equal to norm dot dist open bracket value of x comma mean comma standard deviation, then cumulative. Yes, so write true and close this bracket, make sure when you are writing this formula, these parameters are followed by the comma, not with the colon. Then press enter. After that, we will subtract the value of 5.6 probability from the probability of 6.5. So in order to calculate the probability lies between 5.6 to 6.5, that is calculated as probability of x less than 6.5 minus probability x less than 5.6. So for that we can choose an empty cell. Suppose right now I am choosing this cell. Write the formula is equal to. So first we need this expression, and this expression is corresponding to this value. So we will select this value minus probability x less than 5.6 that is given in this cell. Then press enter to get the answer for this case. So with this we have completed the question number 2, in which the first answer is this one. In the second case the answer is this. In the third case we are getting the answer as 0.296. Let's answer the next question. It is given that x is a random variable that is approximated by the normal distribution, and this stands for the mean, and the second entry is for the sigma square, and sigma square stands for the variance. It implies that mean in this case is equal to 6.42 and the standard deviation is equal to 1.12, where variance is equal to 1.12 whole square. Now we need to find the value of k such that probability of the random variable x less than k is equal to this. In this case, we will use the built-in function, that is the norm.inverse, in which we needed the three parameters. First, we need to define the probability. Second case, we need to take the mean. And in the third case, standard deviation. So this formula is applicable only for the probability of the random variable less than equal to k or less than k, where probability is given as, suppose, p. Now let's move to the Excel to find the value of k in this case. So very first we will store this value in Excel. So according to the question, mean is given as 6.42, standard deviation as 1.12. So I have separately stored these values in a E column for E1 and in E2. Now we need to find the value of k when the probability is equal to this and the random variable is less than k. So in that case, write the formula in an empty cell is equal to norm dot inv open bracket. So now we need the probability that is given in the cell followed by the mean. In between we will write the comma, then again write comma, now write the standard deviation. Close this bracket and press enter to get the answer. So in this case the value of k is approximately is equal to the 7.4, for which we are getting the probability as 0.809469. It means probability x less than equal to 7.4 is equal to 0.81. For the case B, we need to find the value of k such that the random variable is greater than k, and in that case the probability is equal to this. It means, suppose this value is equal to k and area under this curve is given to you as 0.366882. But in order to apply the normal inverse function, it is applicable when the case of random variable less than k. So we can find this value of k with the help of total area minus this area. How to find this one? So this total area is 1. If you subtract this value from the 1, you will get the value of this shaded region. So in which we will use the norm inverse command. Means to get the value of k, we can write this is equal to 1 minus probability of x less than equal to k. So we know that for this we can use the norm inverse command. And there does not exist any built-in function for this case. in order to find the value of k, we will use this formula, and by this we can say that the probability of x less than equal to k is equal to 1 minus probability of x less than k, and this value is given to you, that is this one. So we will plug this value over here, and after that we will use the norm inverse command in a Excel. So let's try to find this answer in a Excel. Very first we will store that probability in an empty cell. Now we will write the formula as is equal to norm dot inv open bracket. Now the probability is 1 minus this comma mean comma standard deviation, close this bracket and press enter to get the answer. In this case, we are getting the value of k is approximately is equal to 6.8.